It is such a pleasure to meet you all. How are you today?
Hello,
Hi, we're
Nick.
Doing
great. Nick, how
well.
are you?
Doing
I'm.
How
amazing.
late is it for you?
It's just gone 7:30 in the morning.
Oh,
So,
gracious
Okay.
me.
so
Well, good
you know,
morning.
Good
that's it.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm in the future in Australia. Things are still
Things are
as they
good.
are. So
Things
we're
are
still
things are
here.
like they are.
We're still here. So
That's a
we'll
bonus.
we'll
Earth's
take a
still
Good.
spinning.
positive out of that. I love doing these Crunchyroll junkets because I genuinely love getting to explore new shows. And Witch Hat Atelier is truly incredible. Like I really love this show. And I'd love to start the chat by saying, watching Coco and her journey and that desire to pursue witchcraft because this feeling is inside of her is something I think resonates so much with a lot of audiences. And I'm curious to know, and Madeline, I'll start with you. Uh, when was that first time you felt you wanted to pursue acting and what sort of pushed that desire and who were the people that sort of then guided you on that journey?
Oh, wow, this is such a great question. I was 17 years old and I had to start applying to colleges and didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. And I saw my cat is trying to eat something. Uh, and I went and saw a play at a local Dallas, Texas theater um, that was one of the most incredibly influential like moments of my life. Like I went in to this going like I'm going to watch a cool play and I came out 90 minutes later going I know what I have to do with the rest of my life now and it has to be this. Um it was transformative, it was transcendent. It was a play called Tally's Folly. It's a two-hander um about uh a European Jewish man who escaped the Holocaust, moving to America and falling in love with a woman who finds out that she can't have children. And this is in like the 50s, and so there's there's a lot of identity, being explored here, and
Yeah.
the entire set was like it takes place in a boathouse, and the entire set was made of like recycled paper and recycled wood and reclaimed wood and stuff. It was like that is 97 minutes that changed the entire trajectory of my life.
Wow, that's so
um
incredible.
and it was the director of that show who wound up being my first boss and kind of like a Yoda to me throughout my early career.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And Joshua, for you, do you remember when that feeling first sort of arose in you?
When I was but a wee lad, I think it was when I was like, gosh, 10-ish. I was watching a whole lot of stuff on YouTube and a lot of stuff like fan-made creative things. And I was like taking my own little camcorder and recording me playing with like my action figures and stuffed animals and stuff and doing the voices for them. And eventually that led into me sort of moving into doing fan comic dubs and stuff online. And I had an old channel I posted those to of just a bunch of different stuff. And it led to me meeting a lot of the people that I now work with in a lot of like official capacities. It's really lovely to see sort of the growth and movement of so many people like alongside me in the industry. I know me and Anjali have known each other for way too long now. I believe we've known each other since like gosh, 2018, 19.
There's no chance.
No,
2021, I would
like
say.
around then.
Must have been 2018. I was not in these spaces.
But it's so cool being able to grow into these spaces alongside so many other fantastic, incredible actors, especially from sort of humble beginnings, doing silly like fan works and whatever just we could just to like have a fun thing to put out there. It was really fun.
That's incredible. And Angelica, for you, when was this journey kicking off for you?
Since I was a kid, I've always been like a storyteller in some way. I hadn't explored an interest in acting specifically really until college. But I remember when I was like 8 years old, I told my parents I was going to become a published author, which
Oh.
is other kids were like astronaut or like cowboy, and I was like, I want to write books. So I always had an interest in characters and storytelling, but I was on a very, very set path. I was very like practical. I like went to school and was like, I'm going to become a lawyer and be very serious. And once I was in college, I there was a time where I was sort of trying to figure myself out, and in the middle of that time, the pandemic happened, and that kind of really changed my trajectory. I suddenly was like starting to explore other interests. I had a lot of time on my hands, and one of those interests, I was like, why don't I just take an acting class? It was like completely on a whim. There wasn't like, a big grand reason that I was following, but like a lot of things in life, it was just happenstance. And I don't know what happened. I can't even point to a singular moment, but something in that class clicked for me. And I quickly spiraled and took a million more and wanted to learn as much as I could about this crazy thing that was like giving me this feeling that I'd never had before. And that was me discovering my passion. And I'm so grateful I did. I think about how, that's a rare gift that not everyone gets. And yeah, it was just incredible. And now here we are, crazy.
Crazy.
Here we are. Here we are. I've only got a few minutes left. I'd love to ask because I love the that drawing is such an integral part of the show, but it's also the hope that drives that drawing that I think is the emotion that really lies underneath it. I'd love to know in your lives if there's a piece of art, like the magic of art itself, if there's a piece of art that has sort of given you hope in a time when you needed it. And I'm happy to throw that to anyone.
I find that there's this show called The Good Place.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic show. Really, really funny, very wittily written. And you start off in the show and it's pretty standard comedy fare. We have like every episode there's a new silly thing that they've got to do in this good place instead of the bad place. And as it goes on, it sort of gets into messages about philosophy and who we are as people and how we can improve moving forward and how things don't truly matter, and that's a good thing. So just do what you want to do because things in a nihilistic way don't matter, but in a good way. That show and its ending and a lot of its messages really hit home for me, and I carry them very strongly with me.
Optimistic nihilism.
Optimistic
Optimistic
nihilism.
Such a good
nihilism.
answer. Wow, that show really was so great.
That show
It's
is magical.
So
And I
good.
think like asks some similar questions to what this show asks, and like there's just a lot of interesting ideas about like what it means to be a good person, how to help others, how to use what you have to. That's such a good answer. I don't have a better one than that.
I'm sorry.
Mine is the music of Josh Ritter, my singer-songwriter that I just adore, and I've been following his music for 2 decades now. I've seen him in concert a whole bunch, and his music, the way that he writes and the way that he like the lyrics that he writes and the stories that he tells through his music is what it sounds like what love feels like to me. And he has said like in concerts and stuff, like falling is one of his favorite things to do. And that's what he writes about. And it's extremely evident, and that music has like shepherded me through incredible like changing tides in my life. And if I feel adrift at all, I can always put on one of those albums and kind of come correct.
Yeah,
That's
I think that feeling comes through in this show because it highlights the magic and the power of art, and I think it's incredible. I'm getting wrapped quite furiously here, so I appreciate you. I could talk to you all for hours. I hope we get to do it again soon, and I appreciate you all. So take care.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Have a lovely
Thank you
day,
so
Nick.
much, Nick.